In a quiet village, where tall palm trees swayed over dusty red roads, lived a powerful chief named Okafor. He was respected by all, known for his wisdom, wealth, and strictness, especially with his family. His grand house stood in the village center, its tall gates a constant reminder of his authority. Chief Okafor had just one child, a daughter named Adaeze. Adaeze was her father's pride. Beautiful, intelligent, and kind, her smile could brighten anyone's day. As the chief's daughter, she had everything: fine clothes, good food, and attendance for her every need. But despite being surrounded by people, Adaeze felt deeply lonely. Her father was always preoccupied with village affairs, and others were too intimidated by her status to speak freely. She often felt like she was all alone in the world. Every morning, the village buzzed with life. Women swept their compounds, children's laughter filled the air, and traders bustled towards the market. Motorcycles, known as Okadas, zipped up and down the road, ferrying passengers. In this same village lived a young man named Emeka. He was an Okada rider. Life had been tough for Emeka. After losing his father young, he had to leave his education behind to support his mother and siblings. With borrowed money, he bought a motorcycle and began his life as an Okada rider. Despite his poverty, Emeka was known throughout the village for his honesty and kindness. He treated everyone with respect and carried himself with a quiet dignity that earned him admiration. One scorching afternoon, Adaeze decided she wanted a taste of normal life. She wanted to visit the market without her usual driver. Covering her hair with a simple scarf, she walked to the roadside. An Okada rider pulled up beside her. It was Emeka. "Where are you going, madam?" he asked politely. "To the market," she replied softly. He nodded and told her to sit carefully. As they rode, Adaeze felt a thrill she hadn't experienced in years: the wind on her face, the unfiltered sights and sounds of her village. It was a feeling of pure freedom. When they reached the market, she handed him the fare. Emeka looked at the money and then back at her. "Madam, you gave me too much," he said. Adaeze smiled. "Keep the change." But Emeka gently shook his head. "No, I will only take what is correct." Adaeze was stunned. Most people would have gratefully accepted the extra money. This young man's integrity intrigued her. From that day on, whenever she wanted to slip out unnoticed, she would call for Emeka. Their rides soon became filled with conversation. At first, it was simple small talk about the weather or the market. But as days turned into weeks, their conversations deepened. Adaeze learned about Emeka's struggles, his dreams, and the tireless work he put in for his family. In turn, Emeka discovered that the chief's daughter was not proud or arrogant. She was a warm, attentive listener with an easy laugh. What began as a simple friendship blossomed into something more profound. They started to care for each other deeply. Some evenings, after Emeka finished his work, they would meet under a large mango tree at the edge of the village, talking for hours as the sun set. With him, Adaeze found a happiness and connection she had never known. But a shadow loomed over their growing affection. They both knew that if Chief Okafor ever found out, there would be serious trouble. One evening, as the sky turned a soft orange, Emeka's voice was heavy with concern. "Adaeze, your father will never accept someone like me." She looked at him, her gaze unwavering. "I don't care about wealth. I care about the kind of person you are." But secrets have a way of coming to light. A villager spotted Adaeze on Emeka's motorcycle and rushed to the palace with the news. When Chief Okafor heard it, his face turned dark with fury. "My daughter, with an Okada rider?" he roared, ordering his guards to bring her to him at once. That night, the palace was cloaked in a tense silence. Chief Okafor sat on his large ceremonial chair, his eyes cold as Adaeze stood before him. "Is it true?" he demanded. Adaeze, though trembling, did not lie. "Yes, father." The chief's anger erupted. "You are the daughter of a chief. You will not disgrace his family by mixing with a poor motorcycle rider." Adaeze's voice was shaky but firm. "Father, he is a good man." But Chief Okafor refused to listen. He forbade her from ever seeing Emeka again. For days, Adaeze was confined to the palace, her heart broken. Emeka felt the pain just as sharply. He avoided the chief's compound, burying himself in his work to numb the ache of their separation. But love isn't something that can be so easily extinguished. Weeks later, disaster struck. A vehicle carrying travelers overturned on the narrow bridge near the village river. A crowd gathered, shouting in panic, but no one knew what to do. Chief Okafor was among them, having rushed to the scene. Just then, Emeka arrived on his motorcycle. Without a moment's hesitation, he sprang into action. He quickly organized a group of young men, using ropes to pull the trapped passengers from the wrecked vehicle. One by one, they rescued the terrified travelers. At a critical moment, the vehicle began to slip, threatening to plunge into the river below. With incredible bravery, Emeka scrambled onto the unstable wreck and helped a small child to safety, just seconds before the vehicle crashed into the water. The crowd watched, breathless with admiration. Chief Okafor saw it all. He saw this poor Okada rider risk his own life to save complete strangers. In that moment, something shifted in the chief's heart. That evening, he summoned Emeka to the palace. Emeka walked in, his heart pounding with uncertainty. The chief studied him for a long, silent moment. "Today, you showed courage and a good heart," he said finally, his voice slow and deliberate. Emeka bowed his head respectfully. "I only did what anyone should do." Chief Okafor let out a long sigh. "For many years, I believed wealth and status were the most important things. But today, you showed me that character is far greater than riches." He then turned to Adaeze, who was standing nearby, her eyes filled with hope. "If my daughter has chosen a man like you, perhaps she has chosen wisely." Adaeze's face lit up with a radiant joy, and Emeka could hardly believe what he was hearing. From that day forward, the story of the chief's daughter and the Okada rider was told throughout the village. It was a story that reminded everyone that true worth isn't measured by money, but by the goodness of one's heart. And under that same mango tree where their journey began, Adaeze and Emeka sat together, forever grateful that courage, honesty, and love had rewritten their destiny. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. We'll see you in the next video.